Welcome! Today I'm going to show you how to make ciabatta in your wood-fired pizza oven.
Watch and learn.
Start with your water first. Now your water should be warm. Your yeast in. Salt. And now give it a bit of a mix. And then you add your flour. So we'll start mixing it on a low speed. You need to mix it on a low speed for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then another 2 or 3 minutes on a higher speed. Alright, when it's finished mixing, just pull it up and let it fall off the dough hook. And as it's falling, you need a 10 litre bucket. Give it a spray with your food oil, make sure you give it a good spray. And a scraper as well, a kitchen scraper, give that a spray too. So this is a very wet dough, so just scrape it off your dough hook into your bowl. And then scrape it into your bucket. Okay, so I want my dough to ferment until it triples in size. So if you see where the dough is up to in the bucket, it should come up to the top. And to prevent it sticking to my cling film, I just give it a quick spray with food oil, pop the cling film over the top with a tight seal, and store it somewhere warm. This should take about an hour or so, maybe a bit over an hour, to triple in size, and then we'll shape the dough and let it prove. Okay, to prepare and shape your ciabatta, you want to get a board, nice big flat board. Pop a piece of timber down the end, just hold it on the end there, and a large long cloth. Pop it on your board, like so. Okay, so we're ready to shape our ciabatta. If you look here, it's nearly tripled in size. Okay, and you'll notice that bubbles start forming. You see the bubbles, that's when you know your dough is ready to shape. Now because ciabatta is such a wet dough, you need stacks of flour, and I mean stacks. You'll need to keep putting flour on the bench, so keep the flour handy. Also, you'll need a couple of these sort of pastry scrapes, plastic scrapes. One to keep dry, and another wet, which I'll put into a dish like so it's always wet. Okay, so I'll tip my ciabatta out. It might be a bit hard to see on the video. Here it comes, it's sort of quite stringy. There we go. So I'm going to start shaping it with my dough scraper into a rectangle. So I'm scraping the flour underneath it and to the edge, so it keeps the edge so it doesn't stick to the dry scraper. So I'm just getting that flour from around the bench, and I'm trying to make a rectangle like so. This takes a bit of practice, so if you find it hard on the first few goes, stick with it. And you'll see some bubbles, you might be able to see that little bubble forming. Okay, that's sort of about a rectangle. You do that by pushing sideways like so. So I'm pushing it to shape that corner out, and pushing in. And so you sort of, sometimes you move your dough down like that to get a rectangular shape. So, fairly rectangular. So, more flour. And at this stage I also want to put a stack of flour onto my cloth. If you don't put enough flour on there, it'll stick on there and you will not be happy later when you go to put it on your boards and start cooking it. There we go. Okay, so now what I'll do with the my wet scraper, is cut it. I cut the dough, like so, and shape it again. So, you can make small rolls, more flour, small rolls. You can make longer loaves. So you can see I turn it upside down and I pick it up. It's very wet and put it onto my board. So it's a medium sized roll there. And what I'll do is I'll pull my cloth up, pull it up. So you see what I've done? I've given it a barrier where it will, when it proves, it won't go further than that. So, now this time I might cut a larger loaf. And the larger they are, the more difficult they are to work with. So more flour again. And I'll flip it over, carefully like that, like so. And fold again. You'll see this one looks a bit sort of rough, but as it proves it'll go towards the edge where the folds are and it'll look a bit nicer. But ciabatta does look nice and sort of rough and ready. You can also do smaller loaves by cutting it in half, and I'll make some little hamburger loaves. Chewy hamburgers. So these are nice and easy to work with. So small, just roll in the flour, lots of flour. Fold. And again, more flour. Oh. Like so. Another fold. And now I'll need some more flour on my board. While I'm at it, I'll put some more flour on top of my ciabattas I've got ready there. And you'll see what I've got there. And see I've folded it over. Put another tea towel on top. And I'll leave that to prove for about half an hour to an hour. You'll see when it's sort of ready and then we'll cook it. Okay, so here we are where our bread has proved, and the next thing we need to do is get the loaves from our board onto the boards that go into the oven. So, a bit of rice flour on our boards, rub it in. Little ciabattas and just flip them over like that. If they're small you can get 3 on a board. If they're larger you can only get 2 on. If they're a larger one like so, this is quite a large one, you probably only manage to get 1 on the board, so it's quite tricky to flip it over and make a bit of a mess of it. But that's fine, when it goes in the oven it'll rise up. There we are. Okay, so my oven's ready. The door's been on for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and I'm ready to cook. Okay, grab my bread and simply slide it a little bit right into the back of the oven. Nice big one there. And 2 medium-sized rolls. Now give them a good spray. And pop the door back on. Okay, so I'll check on the bread and see how it's going. Oh, rising beautifully, but not cooked, so I'll flip it around. Another 5 minutes, should be right. It's starting to smell great. Let's see what the red's doing. Okay, it looks very good, but to be sure if it's cooked, I need to check that it's 95 degrees Celsius inside. So I use a probe thermometer. I've checked my biggest loaf first to see how it's going, and if that's cooked, the others should definitely be cooked. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Magnificent. Okay, here we go. We're ready with our small buns. And always before you put anything in the oven, just give it a little shake so it slides on the board. There we go, starting to cook. They'll probably only take about 5 minutes. Just have to smell to see when it's ready. Okay, it's starting to smell good. I'll open it up and have a look. Checking the temperature, looks like it's close to 95. It is ready. Look at those, magnificent. And the bottom, beautiful. So there we are, beautiful ciabatta cooked in your pizza oven at home.
Easy peasy.